time there's something. Now we've changed channel. Get back. Hello. Why is this not working? So good morning, everybody. That's on, everything's on. Everybody. Ooh, right, now it's working. How are you all doing? It is, I'm just going to move this a little bit. Broccoli juice. Broccoli juice. Good morning, everyone. It's Monday the 18th of May. Silly Billy here had forgotten to put the volume on, which, to be fair, would make the quiz a little bit harder. I have to open up my watch stream. There we go. We know that's working. And now this. So it's Alphabet Monday. We're going to have 26 questions. Good morning, everybody. 26 questions. Question A, or question 1, the answer will begin with A all the way down to question 26. The answer will begin with the letter Z. It's pretty straightforward. I will be I will be putting the questions in the comments as we go as well. So that you will be able to read them as we go if you would like to catch up. If you're perhaps watching, if you're tuning in late to the live feed. Oh, how did I forget? I've said that bit so many times. As normal, I suggest that the kids get 10 cent for every right answer from the adults. We'll call them adults. It's usually parents, but some people are living with people who aren't their parents at the moment. Maybe you've got grown-up brothers and sisters who are minding the house and your parents are out at work or something. But we'll just say adults. You can write your answers on a piece of paper. You can write them, or you can just say them to the screen. We'll know what you mean. Excuse me. Yawny. 20. Question 18. Yes. And of course, I forgot to. This always happens because it's in alphabetical order. The questions come out as numbers, so I just have to change this. But, actually, I know question A off the top of my head. Question A: what is the name of what was also known? What is the better known name of the counting frame that people used to count with in ancient Asia and Europe? What is the better known name beginning with the letter A that was the counting frame, that was a counting frame in ancient Europe and Asia. Now some of you might have even had them when you were kids as well, because they are a great thing to learn with. Question B. I'll put that in the action. Question 550. There we go. What is the name of the eldest child in The Simpsons? What is the name of the eldest child in The Simpsons? What is the name of the eldest son in The Simpsons? Question 3. The butterfly comes from which creature? The butterfly develops from which creature? I'll just put this. Question D. Which of the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles names begins with the letter D? Which of the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles begin with the letter D? What is the 3rd planet from the Sun? What is the 3rd planet from the Sun? Once again, that begins with the letter E. What word beginning with the letter F is another word for the blubber of a whale? What word beginning with the letter F is another word for the blubber of a whale? Now some of you might be listening to the news today. You know, there's new phases of what we're allowed to do. So what word or what sport beginning with the letter G involves small hard balls and you're allowed to play in Ireland again today? What sport involving small hard balls is allowed to be played in Ireland again today, beginning with the letter G? Question H. Now, this might be a little tough. You mightn't have learned this in school exactly, but some of you should have, I reckon. But you've definitely heard the word. What word beginning with the letter H is the 3rd foundation of music? The other 2 are rhythm and melody. So rhythm, melody and what make up music? I apologise, I spelt the word 2 wrong. I spelt it the other way by accident. I must have been in a rush last night. I really apologise, I fixed it there. So what word beginning with H is the 3rd foundation of music? The other 2 are rhythm and melody. I spelled what wrong as well. I'm going to take 3. What word beginning with the letter H is the 3rd foundation of music? The other 2 are rhythm and melody. Question I. If I say Uachtarota in Irish, Uachtarota in Irish, what do I mean in English? If I say Uachtarota in Irish, what do I mean in English? And thanks for all the kind comments I'm getting. A lot of people watch this not on the live stream. You're probably doing your homework, your homeschool hub, that kind of stuff. But you watch it on the live stream. And just a little reminder to any of the adults who are there in the background, perhaps you can support what I'm doing with a PayPal or a Patreon donation. I really appreciate it if you can. The help is important. J. What do you call the person who sits on the horse in a race? What do you call the person who rides the horse on a race, really? Question K. So once again, the word begins with the letter K. The answer begins with the letter K. In what craft, hobby, activity do you purl and stitch wool? Question K. In what craft, hobby, activity do you purl and stitch wool? Remember, it begins with the letter K. This might be a little tough now. What word beginning with the letter L, L for light, is another word for missing something? This soup is missing tomato. What would the other word for missing be? Now, there's two words in this answer. The first word begins with the letter M. How do you relate to your maternal grandfather? What is your connection to your maternal grandfather? Like, for instance, how do you relate to your first cousin? They are your aunt or uncle's child. So how do you relate to your maternal grandfather? Beginning with the letter M. Now, here's a little clue for this next one. There is a name for the trail that starts in Cork and goes all the way along the coast, all the way up to Donegal. And it's the blank blank way. You might have heard it. The wild blank way. Okay. So that's a clue. And you have to remember the Titanic left Cork. In what ocean did the famous Titanic sink in 1912? Was it the Pacific, the North Atlantic, or the Mediterranean Ocean or Sea? I'd say you've heard of all of them in different stories, like Tintin or Asterix or whatever. But in what ocean did the famous Titanic sink in 1912? Was it the Pacific, the North Atlantic, or the Mediterranean? So many tabs. Complete the name of this song by Taylor Swift? Shake it. Shake it. Blank. Now, what vegetables are hash browns made from? This is another. Well, obviously it begins with the letter Q. What word? Oh, did I? I didn't put that in. What word beginning with the letter Q means you have got to the final of a competition? Like, say, maybe you do a first round and you get through to the quarterfinal and you win that, and then you're into the semi-final. But what's the word for Q to describe doing what it takes to get to the final? Excuse me. Question R. This is a nature question. Convection, frontal, and relief are the three main types of clouds, rainfall, or wind. Convection, frontal, and relief are the three main types of clouds, rainfall, or winds. Question S. This might be a little bit easier, but it's for the younger people doing the quiz to make sure that they get some answers. So if you're doing it with like a younger sibling, let them get some of the questions like this one. In the nursery rhyme, with what did the dish run away? In the nursery rhyme, with what did the dish run away? Now, in one way you're going to have to, by remembering it begins with the letter T, it'll help you. What kind of bulbs, you might be helping planting out in the garden at the moment, what kind of bulbs were once exchanged as currency, mainly in the Netherlands, which some of you might know as Holland? What kind of bulbs were once exchanged as a form of currency? Now, question U. What kind of light is a form of electromagnetic radiation? What kind of light is a form of electromagnetic radiation? Question V. Now, I enjoyed putting this one together because it's a question about words. What word beginning with the letter V describes all the words you know. All the words you know. Question W is sort of a silly one. You'll probably work this out easily enough because we know it begins with a certain letter. What day is 9 days away? What day is 9 days away? A reminder, tomorrow is True or False Tuesday. 50-50 questions. 10:30 on a Tuesday. Question X. Professor Xavier is the head of which group in a famous book, comic book and film series? Professor Xavier is the head of which group in a popular book or series? Question Y. If I say the word Ine Oskelga, what do I mean in English? If I say the word Ine Oskelga, what do I mean in English? And question Z. What is the name of the video software that many people are using to chat with now? You might have been doing it with your classmates, your teacher, your grandparents, other family. What is the name of the video software that many people use to chat with now? Now, I notice a good few of you are commenting there now, and it's always great fun, and you can let me know the scores you get. And if you want to message me, as I always say, if you want to message me with ideas or suggestions, make sure the adult that you're with is there when you send the message. Because that's just the better way to do it. I'll just give you a moment there to look over your answers. And then I'll give you the right answers. And once again, look, if any of the adults listening in would like to donate to help support what this is going on, the price of a bag of coffee would be lovely. The price of a coffee would help. The price of a trip to go to the countries where coffee is made. Whatever you want. Anyway, here's the answers. What is the best known name for the counting frame used in ancient Europe and Asia? It's the abacus. What is the name of the eldest son in The Simpsons? Or, well, child, but it's Bart. Bart. The butterfly comes or develops from which creature? It's the caterpillar. Would you let me know if does the alphabet quiz make it kind of too easy because the letter is there, or does it give you the kind of guidance you like and it's a good start to the week? Which of the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles begins with the letter D? Donatello. The third planet from the sun, I'll give you a clue. Look down, it's Earth. What is another name for the blubber of a whale? It's fat. What word involving 2 small hard balls are allowed to be played in Ireland again today? Golf. What word beginning with H is the third foundation of music? The other 2 are rhythm and melody. It's harmony. You might have heard of it. Like, you might have heard the young person in my house downstairs was singing the Beatles there, and they were renowned for their harmonies. That's from Twist and Shout. Well, if I say Uktarota in Irish, what do I mean in English? I mean ice cream. What do you call a person who sits on the horse in a race? It's the jockey. What craft or hobby or activity do you purl and stitch wool? It's knitting. Now, some of you might have been sounding out the words, so you might have come up with crochet, and I was thinking about that. That's okay too. This is an easygoing, fun quiz. We won't fall out over it. What word beginning with L is another word for missing something? It's lacking. You might have heard of that word before, lacking. How do you relate to your maternal grandfather? It's your mother's father. Your mother's father. In what ocean did the famous Titanic sink in 1912? It was the North Atlantic. The wild Atlantic way, you might remember. Taylor Swift, Shake It Off. It might make it a little bit easier because you knew it began with the letter O, but it's a really memorable song as well. What vegetables are hash browns made from? Potatoes. Now, any of our... If there's any English or American people watching this quiz, hello. I know there's a few of you tune every now and then. Yes, I'm an Irish guy who's used potatoes as an answer. But sure, there we go. What word beginning with the letter Q describes getting to a final after winning a semi-final? It's qualifying. Convection, frontal and relief are all the three main types of rainfall. In the nursery rhyme, what did the dish run away with? The spoon. What kind of bulbs were once exchanged as a form of currency? It's tulips. The Dutch would be very famous for tulips. I'm growing incredible things with them. What word describes all the words, you know? It's very load of words. No, it's vocabulary. Vocabulary. What day is 9 days away? It's Wednesday. Now, to all my regular A to Z Monday followers, you know that from now on, from W1, it gets kind of hard because there isn't many words that we all know that begin with those letters. But I keep trying. Professor Xavier is the head of which group? It's the X-Men. Now, you mightn't have seen the movies yet, but you've probably heard of them in the Marvel Universe. In Eos Gaeilge, it means yesterday in English. And what is the name of the video software that many people use to chat with now? It's Zoom. Zoom. So guys, thanks everybody for tuning in. Let me know in the comments how you did. It was out of 26. I'm on again every morning, 10:30. Tomorrow's True or False Tuesday. And then we're going to go for Wordy Wednesday. And let's see from there. But look, lads, have a great day. Keep washing those hands. Keep reading those books.